You gave me a great segue when you're talking about the geography. And I had just attended a conference that had a lot of journalists that are really turning to social networking, and I really think journalists are sort of waving the banner right now in social media and are a real driving force. But in the last couple of weeks, we've seen another very powerful driving force that has brought Twitter to the forefront, and that's everything that's been going on in Iran. And I wanted to know, from your perspective, being very active on this, how did you see that, and what all did you witness on Twitter during these last couple of weeks as it related to what was going on in Iran, a very big worldwide event?
Right, exactly. Well, when the news first hit, news breaks on Twitter, which is another really good reason to be on it, even if you're not actively broadcasting your own tweets. You don't even need an account to start seeing what's going on in the community. But since I am in the community, what I noticed is it was like a sudden change in mood. It was like Twitter was not, people were stopping tweeting. They weren't tweeting about themselves. They weren't tweeting about, because a lot of people share information about social media and how to get more hits on your website or, business stuff, or business information. But, it was like all of a sudden the mood shifted and they were like, what are we going to do? How can we help? And I thought that was so interesting because a lot of criticism about social media is that it's very ego-driven, and I would definitely agree with that for a large part of it, but to see that an event like this could change the community into, no, it's not about me and it's not about promoting business or promoting my product, it's about helping other people, and how can we help other people? And that was another thing I saw, was like this desperation of, well, what do we do? And so I think that's why, for those of you who aren't familiar, everybody started turning their avatars, their little pictures, they started changing them green, and it was to show support for the people and what they were going through. And it's just like a little something. It's like buying the yellow ribbon, to support the troops and putting it in your car. It's something that you could do to feel like maybe you're helping them or, showing your support. And I really thought that was tremendous because almost all of my friends were green, and I thought that was amazing. And so then we started thinking, when I say we a lot because my husband and I work together. He's Everzales. His last name's Everton. My last name's Gonzalez. So we put them together for Everzales. What we started thinking about is, what can you do? You find out not just about this, but any political movement, and you get upset and you're like, okay, I understand this. What can I do? Well, the three things we came up with is share information, which is exactly what you can do on Twitter. You feel like you're contributing or, doing some sort of action when you retweet someone's information about what's going on over there or anywhere, something that can help people. Also broaden your scope of where you're getting your information because, there's definitely still a place for mainstream media, but now with all these blogs, there's a whole other world out there where you can get information. And then the third thing is, make your money count wherever wherever you decide to purchase, you're voting with your credit card. So that's something that, those are the three things that we kind of noticed that people, just from everybody's tweets, that's kind of how we saw things going. And then it was like, well, then somebody asked, when do you turn your avatar back to a normal color? Because isn't that kind of like, oh, well, now we're forgetting about Iran? And so then there was kind of like a debate about, well, when do you do that? And I've noticed more people are starting to turn their avatars normal, but it doesn't mean that we've forgotten because I'm still showing, people are still sharing that kind of information. So that was kind of the progression that I saw.